All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about a simple rule that pretty much runs your entire shopping life, whether you realize it or not. It's called the law of demand.
So, let me ask a question that sounds, well, kind of obvious. Why do we buy more of something when the price drops? I mean, of course we do, right? Your favorite coffee goes on sale, you grab 2 bags. Simple. But the thing is, the why behind that decision is actually way deeper than you might think. It's not just common sense, it's a powerful economic idea. And yeah, this everyday shopping puzzle actually has a name. Economists have spent, ages studying this behavior, and they've landed on a core principle. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack the two major theories that explain what's really going on in our brains when we decide to buy something.
So here it is, the big one, the law of demand. All it really says is that as a price goes down, the amount people want to buy goes up. Simple enough. But to explain why, well, that's where things get really interesting. Economists came up with two different ways of thinking about it. You can picture them as two separate roads that, believe it or not, end up at the exact same place.
Okay, so let's take that first road. This theory is pretty wild. It suggests that we can actually assign a numerical score to our happiness or satisfaction. It's a way of taking a feeling and turning it into a number we can actually work with. And that number is called utility. You can honestly just think of it as a happiness score. The more utility something gives you, the more valuable it is to you. But, and this is a big but, that score isn't static. It changes, and how it changes is the real key.
This brings us to a crucial idea, marginal utility. Now, marginal is just a fancy word for the next one. So this isn't your total happiness score. It's the additional satisfaction you get from consuming just one more of something. You know, the difference in joy between the first bite of a cookie and the fifth bite. That extra little boost is what we call marginal utility. And here's the rule that governs all of this. It's called the law of diminishing marginal utility. And all that fancy phrase means is something you already know deep down. The more you have of something, the less exciting each new one becomes. It's a universal feeling.
Let's make this real. Let's talk about pizza. That very first slice, it's incredible. The marginal utility is through the roof. The third slice, yeah, it's still good, but that extra kick of happiness just isn't as strong. Now, what about that sixth slice? You're probably stuffed, maybe even regretting it. Your marginal utility has totally tanked. Maybe it's even gone negative.
And this chart puts some numbers to it. Look here. As you get more apples, your total utility, your overall happiness score, keeps going up. That makes sense, but check out that last column, the marginal utility. See how the satisfaction you get from each new apple keeps dropping? From 50 to 45 to 35. That, right there, is the law of diminishing marginal utility in action.
Okay, so that's theory number one. But maybe you're thinking, I don't walk around scoring my happiness. That's just weird. Well, you're in luck. The second theory says you don't have to. It's all about just ranking your options. And honestly, this is the approach most modern economists prefer because it just feels more realistic. It's not about how much you like something, but simply which option you prefer. And this comparison just nails the difference. The first theory, the scoring one, is like an Olympic judge holding up a 9.5. It's a specific, hard number. But this second theory, it's more like saying, I liked the first option better than the second one. You're not giving a score, you're just putting things in order. It's all about ranking, not rating. So how does this ranking idea work? Well, it uses a pretty cool tool called an indifference curve. Imagine a line on a graph. Every single point on that line represents a different mix of two things, say apples and beer. And here's the kicker. You would be equally happy with any of those combinations. You'd be, well, indifferent about which one you got. But of course, let's be real. We can't have whatever we want. We've all got a budget. And that's where the budget line comes in. This is a different line on the graph that shows all the combinations of things you can actually afford with the money you have. This is the reality check that crashes the party. So the whole game here is to get the most happiness you can for your money. You're trying to reach the highest, most awesome indifference curve possible, but you're not allowed to cross your budget line. So where's the sweet spot? It's that one single point where your budget line just barely kisses the highest indifference curve you can possibly reach. That is the perfect choice, the most satisfaction you can get. So we have these two totally different ways of looking at how we make choices. One is about scoring, the other is about ranking. They seem worlds apart. But And this is the really cool part. They both lead us to the exact same conclusion about the law of demand.
Two different roads, but they both arrive at the exact same destination. They both give us one single, powerful answer to our original question. Let's connect the dots. With the satisfaction score theory, when a price falls, your happiness per dollar for that item suddenly shoots up. It's a better deal. So, to maximize your overall happiness, you naturally buy more of it to rebalance everything. Now for the ranking theory. When a price drops, your budget line actually moves. It pivots outward. Suddenly, you can afford more combinations of things, which lets you reach a brand new, even better indifference curve. And that new sweet spot almost always involves buying more of the thing that got cheaper. See? Same result.
All right, let's stop talking in hypotheticals and use a quick, concrete example. Let's imagine you have a shopping budget of 900 naira. Now, after you run all the numbers based on the prices, it turns out there is one single combination that gives you the absolute most happiness for your 900 naira. Exactly 6 apples and 5 beers. That's what economists call the equilibrium point, that perfect balance where shifting your spending in any other way would actually make you less happy overall.
Okay, I know this can feel a little academic, but understanding the logic behind the law of demand is incredibly practical. This isn't just theory for economists, it literally explains the entire world of commerce that's all around us.
It explains that gut feeling you have when you see a sale and suddenly want to stock up. And it's exactly what companies are thinking about when they design promotions. They are deliberately trying to mess with your satisfaction per dollar calculations. They know that by changing the price, they can shift your budget line and nudge you to buy more. It's all by design.
So let me leave you with this final thought. A buy one, get one free deal isn't just a simple discount. It is a dramatic manipulation of the price for that second item. It drives its satisfaction per dollar way, way up, tempting you to find a whole new spending balance. So the next time you see a deal, you'll know exactly what's happening in the hidden math of your own mind. Thanks for tuning in.